So the area that we're in right now is called an Alvar, and that's a word that comes from Scandinavia, but it's been applied to Ontario. And the bulk of the world's Alvar are located in Ontario. 75% of the Alvar in North America is located in Ontario. And this area in Simcoe County and in the city of Kawartha Lakes, and the kingfisher just went by, these ones are some of the most important Alvar representation. So these are really key habitats. And when I first arrived here, it's always a thrill because there's thin soils over limestone, but they're often pastured, or it makes really good pasture ground. Lots of ranchland on that kind of thing. But when you walk into it and you begin to see some of these signature plants, and there are a lot of them that characterize the Alvar, like the little blue stem is gorgeous. And at this time of year, on the dawn, when the dew is on it, it just sparkles like silver. It's a brilliant grass. It's only this high. You think of grass, but it's gorgeous. We also have in the spring, the prairie smoke, which comes up. It's one of the first things to flower with pink flowers. So it turns sort of a rosy pink. And then as it begins to set seed, it turns into a really warm, more of a brownish tone. And then it just covers the Alvar with these plumes of seeds that just look like a prairie on fire. There are a whole lot of other things here that are unique to the Alvar that form this association. It's more like a plant community than any other single plant that you might come across. And certainly coming here today, we've seen the water willow along the shoreline, which isn't necessarily a rare plant, but it's one that you don't see very often, and it provides such really important ecosystem services. What it's doing is protecting our shorelines, and so it controls erosion, and it provides habitat for so many different species. And it's often associated with, say, black tern, which is one of our rare species. We haven't seen it around here, but as soon as I start to see water willow, then I'm starting to look for black tern. The landscape itself is providing these ecosystem services that these are benefits that we benefit from, but we don't necessarily pay for them. And so if they're taken away, then all of a sudden bad things start to happen, like flooding, or our water quality deteriorates, or suddenly our air quality isn't very good, or there's too much, well, the flooding is too much water. These are the sorts of things that this vegetation provides that we're not paying for until we take it away, and then we have to pay to control it. And those costs are huge. You can actually calculate the value of the ecosystem services. Carbon sequestration and storage is another one. So that's how it improves the air quality, but it also takes things like nitric acid from the air and neutralizes that so that it doesn't acidify our water. These services are just so important and completely undervalued. And that's why it's so important to have large areas that are well vegetated that can do these things. I mentioned carbon sequestration, which people often associate with the woody vegetation, but in fact the little blue stem that I talked about and the big blue stem, which also occurs on Alvar, they sequester as much or more carbon than the trees do. So they don't look like much, but they're contributing in a really positive way to our environment. And if we don't protect them, we won't have them anymore.